So Mindy, I know you and Janice, you've been on some classes before and run ads. Is there anything in particular you'd like to refresh today? Um, I'll let you answer that, and then I'll have some thoughts as well.
No, I just wanted to see if there's anything different that I would be able to use.
Mm-hmm.
I always get something out of the training,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's just one thing.
Yeah, me too, pretty much. I mean, I pretty much know, how to do it. It's just,
Yeah, I wonder if
there's changes all the time and,
Mhm.
just making sure I'm doing what I'm
what
supposed to
I
do.
what I want to incorporate myself more as well is, especially after family reunion, having two like tech trainer calls after family reunion. A lot of people a lot of the tech trainers around the country had good ideas and stuff that they were talking about. So on the last couple that we were talking about is we broke out into little sessions on Zoom, and we were talking about best practices and stuff. So I was asking them, do you teach like your agents at different market centers to do the ones that you've created, like creating, like if you do an ad, like will you create a smart plan to following up with them, or will you use some of the ones that I've already created? And a couple tech trainers were responding that there's a lot of good ones that are already created that you can kind of edit yourself, right? So if some of them have like Twilio connected to it or automatic emails, that you could just edit those out to have it kind of sound more like you, and but especially when we're getting paid ads from command that really need like 6 to 10 contacts and touches before we're going to see results. So hopefully we can kind of incorporate filling our pipelines with paid ads, but then also knowing and acknowledging and setting up those smart plans to make sure that the speed of implementation to contact them once they get into our database happens quickly.
Hey,
Mhm.
Paul, it's
Yeah.
Keitsa.
Hey, Keitsa.
Hey, so, I really like the automation of the smart plan and everything about it. I've spent a lot of time learning it because I want to be able to utilize it for ads as effectively as possible.
Yeah.
Some things I didn't know, right? Until it
Mhm.
So like Trulio, we talked about this. I didn't know till I asked them that Trulio is just answering to your command page. It's not actually coming to your phone. So you have to always be mindful of looking at that, because in the beginning, I had zero idea that that's how it worked. That it was not coming directly to your phone. So I'm like, man, why is this not working? So that was the first thing that it was like my aha, didn't know it would work that way. And the second thing is that when you go into command and you do the Facebook ad, like the section where you can pick the smart plan you want to add them to.
Yeah.
So when you pick the smart plan, I didn't know this till like last week. When you click the smart plan you want them to, you also don't want to put a triggering event at the top, because that actually signs them up twice to the same plan. So I was getting people telling me, why are you sending it to me twice? So I thought you had to do it both ways, but you really don't. You really either triggering event.
Okay. Well, yeah, and
Smart plan.
I've never clicked on that specifically. What is the?
So when you go into the smart
Janice,
plan,
Janice, you told me about the triggering event the first time. I know, yeah, like when you at the very end of building out your ad, it says, do you want to set them up on a smart plan?
yeah, so that you do it there and that's fine. But if
Yeah.
you actually go into the smart plan into command, at the top of it, it will say, do you want to pick a triggering event? Like they're a new buyer, or like you want to pick a tag. So if you do both, it's going to send them the information twice. So like if I make a Facebook leads tag.
Yeah.
And then I put everyone in that Facebook leads tag, and then I make that my triggering event in my smart plan to add them to this plan. It's actually adding it twice if I've done it through command when I set up the ad, and then in turn, turn around and do it a second time, setting up a tag. As a
I'm
trigger.
trying to understand the.
That's
Well,
never
I-
happened for me.
Pizza,
That's-
do you have your tag before, like in your smart plan? Like you could tag like Facebook.
Yes. Yes, but
Well,
when
why
I,
do you need to do the trigger?
well, I thought that if like the people that were already in command, if I wanted to add them to a smart plan,
Mhm.
I didn't know how to do it. It was just, I didn't know. So I was doing it where I was adding them to the tag of Facebook lead. And then it was adding the smart plan twice. When I ran the ad, it was anybody who had the Facebook lead or was added to the smart plan. But then it was also, I was adding it as a triggering event. I was doing it twice and I didn't need to, is basically.
Well, I've done that and it's never sent my people twice emails.
Oh. Well, I had like 5 or 6 people say, stop sending this to me twice.
Yeah, I've
I
never,
took the other one off.
because I have a whole group of people that I still market to for my seminar and I invite them to future seminars.
Mhm.
But then I have new people from my ads who are tagged with the same tag once they come in and are added to that smart plan. And I've never had it double back on people that are already existing. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I really just, Keita, because I know I just want to make sure we troubleshoot it so it doesn't keep happening. Like when you're saying adding people to Facebook ads tag, are you
Yes.
saying after they came into your database from an ad?
Correct.
Were you then going into and adding a new tag for them?
Correct. That's how it was happening. And that's the step I did not need to do. I needed to let the smart plan just add them, not me do it manually too.
Yeah, but add them, were you just adding a tag or were you adding them to another smart plan?
I was adding the tag.
But you could do that when you're in the same section, when you're making the ad, so that you
Correct.
don't have to
That's-
add it personally.
Yes, that's the part I figured out. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's the part I figured out. I was doing it twice and I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah,
I
so
Done
when
it from when I
you're,
did the ad.
so essentially you can set them up on a smart plan, whichever one you want when they're coming in and
Correct.
add a tag to them, which is the,
Correct.
yeah, and
That
so
was
then you
the
don't have to
step I
mess with them
wasn't-
after, yeah.
Correct. I was turning around and then adding it again
Mhm.
in command to the person. And so it was making it happen twice.
Right on. I get, so yeah, so essentially we just want to focus on doing it at the initiation of the
Yes, that
command.
would be that was
Mhm.
my long about way of my point, Paul. Yes.
What is, oh yes, Catherine, did you have a question or a comment?
Yeah, with the Twilio, where do you find that in command if somebody, because I've never had anyone respond. I might be missing, where would I find it in command that somebody responded on Twilio to a text?
So the one place you'll always see is in notifications, right? The little bell up top. And then,
Oh,
yeah, and then also you'll see it as well if you go into the contact itself. That'll show.
all right, well, I wouldn't know to go into the contact, so
I think you
just-
get a notification too on your phone, like
Yeah,
through, right?
now with the command mobile, we get notifications. You should have notifications on the phone too. And it should work as well when people respond to Twilio. You know how before when Keita was saying that the text itself when you're using Twilio doesn't go to your cell phone.
Right.
But we should get a notification now with the command mobile app that someone has responded.
but we have to go in the mobile app to look to see if someone's responded, right? It's not gonna tell us someone just responded.
I don't know. I get notifications
I
like
don't-
when I send out a smart plan for neighborhood nurture. If someone responds to it, I get a little pop-up notification on
Me
my phone.
too.
So you do,
Me too.
okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll have to check that out. Thank you.
Mhm. Yep, for sure. The key that I like that we're talking about that aspect of it is too many agents fall into the trap of paying for leads through command and then kind of saying like, well, they don't work. On a lot of Facebook groups, that I'm in that talk about command ads or like tech trainer groups, there's a lot of people saying like, hey, what's the return on investment, and are these working for you? They haven't worked for me. What I like here is everyone here attending is, I think we're all, even Keitsa, I mean, you may be a newer agent, but you're not, I mean, you're tech savvy, you're potentially going to be on like the tech committee for ALC. I mean, you know what you're doing, and you're very active with like prospecting and stuff. So everyone here is kind of on a similar
Thanks.
like boat in that sense. Oh, you're welcome. Where
I needed that pick me up.
oh no, for sure. And like Sandy, for example, you at the end of, I remember the award ceremony last year where it was like, oh, who used command like the most? You have, I think you have like 4,800 contacts in there, 187 opportunities, stuff like that, where we're all here actively using this. So I just want to make sure too, like what's super helpful, I think, for all of us to remember too, is there's so many agents, and not all new agents, but like not everyone's in the same boat as we are here, where we're like, hey, this is an opportunity to help our business, and I think removing some of the kind of the hurdles that it really doesn't, you really just got to push through it a tad bit, and it could really change things. For that particularly is when KW implemented that part where anyone that you run a paid ad to could then automatically get put on the smart plan that you choose. That changed the game totally, because it just took that extra manual step out, right? I mean, you could have 200 people that come in on an ad, and you can automatically set them up on something that exactly when they reach out, they're going to get an email or a text from you. And if 85, 87%, 90% of people work with the first person that they're in contact with as in their real estate search, like you're going to win some of those, So I fell into the trap, and I just want to make sure we're all here, because we're all pretty seasoned. We can help a lot just by not only doing it in our business, but also just making sure a lot of agents know that like KW is always going to improve command, and there's always going to be little bugs, but it's leaps and bounds better than it was. And some of the tools, particularly ads and smart plans, work. There's not whether or not the tech support's working on something in the back end or command's buggy for a day. Overall, ads and smart plans function very well, and they're always improving them as well. So I just think we can't forget that, this class is focusing on filling your pipeline, especially because it's sort of the beginning of the year. We can fill our pipeline as much as possible, but we will not get business from it unless these people that we're filling our pipeline with are getting contacted. I used to say 6 to 8 times, but really, truly, I'm going to move it like the goalpost a little further and say 10, just because I used to say like text, call, email. So that's 3. Text, call, email 6. Text, call, email 9. But if their number's not correct and you just said their email, that's only 3 touches, right? So if you text, call, email, and the number was a landline, so that text didn't go through, then you call them, they didn't answer, and then you email. You know what I mean? So I really do feel like when we're bringing in paid ads, that like a minimum 10 touches from like email or text needs to happen, right? So whether that's finding one of the already created smart plans and then just editing them, say you pick one and the first one is a text from Twilio and it has this huge long paragraph of what to text them. You could edit that, and I'll go through that, but you could just edit that out and just have it say something that you would say as you could always come at it with what your normal day-to-day of talking with someone is. It doesn't have to be like this extensive written out thing, so I just kind of wanted to preface that with do we I feel like at this time of year, I want to put out as many kind of listings ads as possible and get as many buyer leads as possible, because I know there is an absolute um, in general, we know that we make more money on listings and we know it's less work. However, I don't necessarily know if you will be able to fill enough like paid leads if you're just focusing on getting listings. Like I think if you promote giving out home valuations and CMAs, like those can work. I just know that a lot of agents in this market are freaking out because there's not a ton of all right, cool. Later, Keitsa. We'll talk to you soon. There's not a ton of people want people to work with, right? And I do as well. I just had a closing last week, but I have no pendings, and I have some potential referrals and people in my sphere that have promised to work with me this year. But by no means am I feeling comfortable as in this market. You know, I definitely want more people to talk to, more people to reach out to. So like, I think we're all in agreement that, or tell me if you aren't, I'm happy to hear it as well. But like, I really do feel like focusing on listings and promoting them and getting buyer leads in is most effective right now, most bang for your buck. Would you all agree with that?
I
So what are
agree.
you doing to focus on the listings? I mean, how are you focusing on listings? I think we all want to, and we all have been
Well-
trained to do that. What are you doing?
You mean
So-
advertise listings?
Yeah, advertising listings, I mean. So
Oh,
the advertising
okay.
listings, and then by doing that, you're attracting essentially
sure.
buyer leads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to
um,
have the listings to attract the buyers, you know? And right now, everybody's down on listings, but yeah,
Well, we have
the-
a ton coming up
yeah.
in this office, so.
we do. Yeah,
yeah, I
After
definitely,
hearing this morning, I'm like,
Mhm.
whoa, wow.
yes.
I wonder too if it's good to, because there has to be some sort. It can't be a lot of the newer agents that I do one-on-ones with, and I'll say, hey, you know, here's the ad that you really should probably be doing, because then you're getting practice talking to more people, is promoting a listing. But if they don't have one, our office is listing heavy, and then during the stakeholder meeting today, we had a ton of them, like a ton of coming up ones. I doubt every single agent that is that has a listing coming up actively uses command ads, or I think, and maybe that's what I should do as well, is maybe put out like an email to every agent at the office and kind of say, like, almost like a pool, like where don't be alarmed if someone in the office is reaching out to you to promote your listing, because it's they're spending money for your listing, so that's money that you don't have to spend. And then also, because we know that listing's going to sell, you know, like they're going to sell that one just because of the inventory shortage. But like, it helps the entire office, because then we have a lot more buyers that we're dealing with. Like, it's awesome that our market center has been listing heavy over time, but we can use that as an advantage to get a lot more leads. So you know, I kind of say it a lot, but it's like the rising tide lifts all ships, right? Like the more we're aware that this is the strategies that our market center is taking, you know, I'm gonna do a better job of that, as well as kind of making it known that if you have 1, 2, 3 listings coming up, you know, there might be agents in the office that are reaching out to you to put up Facebook ads, you know, so they can get some buyer clients out of it.
I think that's really important, because when I've tried, I think a lot of the agents that don't do Facebook ads
Mhm.
don't understand that it's advantageous to them. I've asked agents
Yeah,
in
that's a
our
great,
office,
yeah,
and they've said no.
yeah.
Oh, really?
And that's a
that
direct,
They didn't want me to, and
That's a
one
direct-
even got offended. when I
Absolutely.
Well,
asked.
they also have, but so they also have to ask their client if it's okay if someone markets that property. So it could be that the client doesn't want that too. If
In
they're
my
still
case,
living
that
there.
wasn't the case. That wasn't why
Yeah.
they said no. They hadn't asked their client. They didn't want someone else promoting their listing, you know.
Mhm.
I know
Mhm.
some agents say, as long as, you know, you say listing courtesy of, you know, some people don't want it to appear like it's your listing. And if you say listing courtesy of Janelle Borders or who's ever listing it is, then they would be okay with it.
That's on me. I need to do a better job of that, to expressing that information out to our office, that that really, if someone's reaching out for that, that's a win. I mean, if someone's willing especially in our office, not even from a competing office, like if they are going to spend money to promote your listing, that's a win. So I'm gonna do a better job of that to kind of getting that out there. So it's more, and maybe we could even have like some sort of Google Docs pool where agents are putting in their listings and you can kind of pick one out from there. But I'll focus on that of getting everyone more aware that is
Just
a
educating
good
them,
practice.
yeah.
Exactly. What are some other, because now you got me thinking that, okay, there's a listing shortage, right? So maybe there are other things we can promote other than what's another good thing that we could promote? A free home evaluation. Even just like a brand awareness of maybe like a design of yourself. I'm just trying to figure out ways to
Something that I was watching on YouTube. I forgot her name, but this KW agent who does a lot of command ads, and I did like an ad, reduced homes in Shaker Heights, and
like reduced price homes or
reduced price homes. And you go on, I don't remember exactly how to do it, but you go on your KW and you set the settings to show, the reduced price homes. So when they click the link, they're seeing all the reduced homes in Shaker Heights, and it still takes them to your search.
That's interesting. See, when I hear that, to me, then I start thinking about all the rules about marketing other people's.
You're not marketing anybody's listing. You're just taking them to the MLS, like the IDX. You're just taking them to the search engine.
That's a good idea. Oh, that's a
You're
cool
not
idea.
taking them like.
It kind of almost is a graphic that says
just a search
reduced price.
engine.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's a good
we've done
idea.
that before.
Does it work?
No. I mean, we get leads, but
Yeah.
you know
I've
what,
gotten
Facebook,
leads, but not results. Yeah.
Right.
Facebook, I mean, the odds are you have to have thousands of leads to get it, basically. I mean, unless you're in a location like Paul, I remember you once showed us for Lakewood.
Lakewood,
I mean,
right,
Lakewood's they're their
91
own
leads out of
entity.
that. Yeah. Yeah, I
You
spent
know.
$40 on it, got 91 leads.
Right, like that's just like, but I mean, basically, like most times it's like, you're lucky if you get 25 leads, and you're lucky if you could get in touch with 2 out of the 25,
Mhm.
And that's if you could even get any kind of business from them. So
Mhm.
and like I can't remember the statistics, but I mean, it's a lot of Facebook leads that you're gonna have to go through in order
Yeah.
to get one sale.
Yep, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, it's
It's a
like
lot of work.
1 to 3%, something like that.
Mhm.
What I'm gonna do, because I keep telling myself that I will do it, and I've seen all the different other ones, but like I haven't yet created a video and promoted that. Have any of you done that?
Mm-mm.
No.
I wonder what kind of traction that would get. I may have to give that a whirl. See if that.
Everybody
might-
talks about video, it's where it's
Uh,
at, but I'm
Right.
not
We might have
comfortable.
done.
Right.
I can't remember if I know I did a video of a listing, but I can't remember if I did it through command or if I just put it on Facebook. I can't remember right now. It was quite a bit ago.
I'm gonna create one, and then even if you all can't make it in 2 weeks for the next class, but I'll share the results on the video one. But overall, like I'm gonna do another. I'm gonna promote a listing to get buyer leads this week, and I don't have one, so I'm gonna find one from the office. So that I really, 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 really want to just create that that customized, whether I'm taking the one smart plan that's already created or building on my own, but then just I really want to do Twilio first. Ideally, I want to, when someone submits their information, I want that automatic text to come from Twilio that basically is going to say, hey, thanks for touching base about the listing at, or maybe not even at the address, about my listing on Facebook. Please let me know if you need any help or something like that, something short. And then it's going to be all automated. Like I want the next day to send them an email, and then obviously when I call them, I'll have to do it on myself, but like on my own. But I definitely want most of the steps to be like automated sending out, because they are a lot of work if we're considering how many leads we need to get in and how many get converted. And that's why I want to leverage like the automated text and emails. I really want to, because I really haven't done that in the past. It was all kind of more manual, but then the more and more I see high level, like Nick Baldwin has a lot of people that he used to be the regional trainer. Now he's more of a consultant, and does a lot of marketing stuff. He has a lot of people he interviews that do the ads at a high level, you know, and mainly it's knowing that it takes a lot of contacts before they will work with you. Cindy, I want to ask you, because you have so many contacts in command. Have those mostly been over time through like paid services, or do you manually put a lot in?
I've done both. I mean,
Mhm.
when we first launched Command, I didn't know how to, get all these contacts into Command, and I called Scott Leroy and he did it for me.
Yeah.
Because I had I don't do spreadsheets and all that shit. I don't want to do, I
Yeah.
don't know how to do that. So, and then of course, everybody I get goes right in there, and
That's
honestly,
awesome.
I mean, I am not utilizing Command like I know I need to. And I beat myself up because I have
Same.
all those. Yeah, I'm just sick about it. And I hear all of us talking, and I got this award last year, and I'm like, I did? You're kidding.
Mhm.
If I know what I'm doing, then I know what everybody's not doing,
And that's the biggest
Yeah.
thing for me, is I kind of see like,
Yeah.
I see what I'm doing, I see what I'm teaching. I'm not quite implementing it all.
No.
I know
And
I
why
can't,
aren't
and then
we?
I know, and that's the thing too, that it's like, why? So I had the reason why I know how many contacts you have in command is the there's David Whalen. He's the director of technology from the Keller Williams in Toronto. I think it's called like Keller Williams Capital Realty. He is a super geek, like numbers guy, like just 100% data driven. We've all met people like that. I don't know how to create my own. I know very basic functions on Excel, right? I know how to like equal, sum, add something, but like, so he built out this very extensive kind of dashboard for like market center tech trainers like myself to utilize. So he put in the work, and we get the benefits of using it. So I watched a video last week on how to collect the data and put it in there. And then what it does is pumps out information like that, where it shows like all the people in the office, and shows like how many contacts they have in command, how many opportunities are. What I noticed about yours was you have 187 opportunities, which is awesome. So like I only started using opportunities more like at a more systematic level this year. So I used to be on team, and now once I transferred over to solo agent, I made sure, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna do a couple things. One was like making sure all the people in my database that are in my sphere are on neighborhood nurture at least. Okay, so why? Because that's 12 touches for the year, right? Because it sends out once a month, so that's 12. So what this David Whalen was talking about, because he's a numbers guy, was like, we've all heard about the 36 touch. I mean, I joined Keller in 2011, and granted, I wasn't full time back then, but like, and we've been learning 36 touch from the moment you joined Keller, you've heard the 36 touch, which is like, if you contact the person in your database 36 times over the course of a year in different methods, text, calls, emails, greeting cards. If they get contacted from you 36 times over a year, all right, Catherine, have it going, all right. Then what is it? Is it for if you do that, I think there's 2 out of every 12 contacts will turn into a sale, something like that. So when I broke it down, I'm like, all right, if I have 192 people that are my sphere of influence, and they are getting contacted 12 times throughout the year, that means I only need to find the other 24 to, and that it puts me exactly at my average of sales for the last 4 years. So then I'm like, so what? I'm sitting in like this panic of, I just had my closing, and now I don't have any more pending. And it's as simple as well, really, I know that I will get to the sales total that I want if I just figure out how to touch base with those people another 24 times through the year. And I just, it's now I really want to, I mean, we're part of Keller Williams for a reason, one reason or another. A big reason is that they're the number one training company in the world, right? So
Yeah. Sure.
I need what they're training, what they're teaching, and what then I am teaching. Like I have to implement. It's all about the implementation, because like if I already have those people in the database, and
It's not enough that
really
they're in there. You got to
then
do
it doesn't
something
ma-
with them.
Yeah, I just got to
Yeah.
do it. And what's crazy is a third of it is already automatic. It happened in January, February, and March. All 192 of them got contacted already, and so then it's like, okay, if I do a greeting card, okay, then only 23 more touches I have to do for the rest of them. And then by the end of the year, you have 16 or 20 sales, and and then that's just with handling your database. That's not even mentioning running ads and having,
Right.
like if my sphere of influence is one pillar, and then if I got that handled, all right, let me start building out this other pillar, which is like $20 a month. I'm going to send, I'm going to do one ad a month for $20. So over the year, that's like a couple $100. Some people's marketing budgets are thousands a month. If you're part of Zillow, it's like you have to pay thousands a month for leads. It's like you could do $20 over 12 months, $20 each month over 12 months, get a ton of people in your database, and have Twilio or your automatic emails reach out to them,
Yeah.
So that's definitely the goal. Feels like a roundabout way of saying that, and how I know that you have that many contacts. Because after seeing that sheet, it's like, hopefully it's gonna be easier for me to kind of, okay, this person has no contacts in command. They hadn't had a listing last month or a closing last month. Maybe it's as simple as it could be a conversation of like, hey, where's your database live? And it's like, oh, I don't really have a database. Where it's like, all right, well, let's figure out how to get 100 people into there. So but with you having the 187 opportunities, I noticed that once I added, I think I had like 20 opportunities, like out of the people that I know that probably will be clients this year. I created opportunities for them. And then what's nice is once I log in, like I'll show you here. Let me share the screen. All right, so opportunities. So here is, all right, how many do I have right now? Okay, so I have this one just closed, so I can move that to closed. I'll do that in a second. I don't need to do that yet. But see, I have listings. I have 7 here that I'm cultivating, right? Watching these people, nurturing these people, right? Those are my potential listings from the people that over the past couple of years that are my watches or nurtures. And then buyers, here's 5 more that I'm cultivating. And then a couple are active right here that I have on MLS portals. And what's cool about this is, you see this section down here? Like this makes me feel good. Like this kind of like in the moments of when you go down to like a little doom loop, when you're like, oh man, I always feel like during kind of November, December, January, February, unless you're just like, I mean, there are some agents in our office that are just like killing it all year long, but this helps me, is that like, okay, look, I have 10 potential listings, I have 8 potential buyers, and these aren't paid ads, right? These are people that are close to me, or like referrals, or that I've sold them a house a couple years ago that said they're ready to to level up. And what's cool is depending on what stage they are, it breaks down what probable income is and what
Yeah.
potential income is.
I
So
love
like,
that. If you
I know
look
it's
at that,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's like a
great.
small little thing, but like, I mean, this number right here,
Motivation.
it is
Yeah.
because I'm like, it just, all these little things help because we do not get paid until keys transfer, right? So it's like, but if I wasn't able to kind of log in here and see that, like, no, I actually do have, like, my wife's like, you gotta have a closing, and I'm like, oh, I had one in January, February, December, January, February already. So like, I'm doing well. She's like, yeah, but what's coming up? Well, I'm like, well, I have 18 people that are coming up, and the potential income is 136K. Probable income is like when they're in showing stage, like that's like actually more tangible coming up. But like that's a big thing. Like this is a really big psychological and motivational and attitude adjustment because it shows your pipeline, it shows what you have the potential to do. So that's just kind of the one thing that I noticed, Sandy, when you had a ton of those opportunities is it also kind of separates you can kind of easily separate A and B and C clients, you know what I mean? Like the ones that are
Yes.
like A's are like ready to go, like
Sure.
if the house pops up, they're making an offer. There's some people that are maybe like C plus buyers where they want to sell, but they have nowhere to go. Right. So it's like, in this market, it's gonna be tough to get like a house sale contingency accepted. So yeah, I think it's another good way too to kind of keep track of those as well. So I'm a fan. I never really focused on opportunities, but then once I saw that David Whalen out of that office in Toronto talk about how much his office in general raised up in production and how much the agents, how happy they were when really they focus on contacts, smart plans, and opportunities. Those are the three things.
Yeah, it's cool.
Let's see here. Any other insights or kind of I know do we want to walk through any of the building out the ads, or I think this has been helpful so far, just to kind of talk this out.
Yeah, I think looking at the opportunities, and I think I noticed that when my deals closed, they sit in the closed category for what? Do they clean out the closed every month? Where do they go after closed? You know what I mean? Do you know? Because I think I wanted to
They're
go.
all opportunities. You
I
could
think they
see
go
them
on all
as all
opportunities.
opportunities.
Yeah, because
Oh,
they're
they are.
here. Yeah,
Gotcha.
they're there.
So
Okay.
you could go back if you need to refer to it. It's all
And
under.
then they're just sold. They're categorized under sold, right? Or closed.
Yeah, and I wonder here, which I haven't done this, is view.
Oh, see, you have one closed there. Yeah, I see.
I wonder if I can edit I was wondering if you can like go in here and edit the contact to like previous client, which I think you can probably, maybe not. I'm just wondering. Oh, maybe not, but yeah, you can reference it here. I don't know how quickly it goes into there. I think I moved this one over into closed a couple weeks ago, so it may have a set time. I don't know exactly how long that is though.
Probably the end of the month or something, I'm sure. Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely I'm going to reiterate it again, but the if you use command for a few of the tools that like if you focus on contacts, smart plans, and opportunities, then that should be a recipe and a formula for success. Just making sure that, especially with the command mobile app, I don't know if you all have that downloaded yet, but definitely do it, because it's just nice seeing that, because before we never had it linked. It's just nice seeing that like on March 1st when I emailed automatically that neighborhood nurture to all my contacts. It was nice seeing people reply to it right on my phone. I would just see like, oh, the response from the person that got it, which was cool to see.
You know, I have the Command mobile app and I also have the KW app. There's two apps that we're using, right? One is for sharing with your clients, right? Is that what
Yeah,
it?
the KW consumer is the client facing one. That is what essentially it's if they had Zillow app on their phone or or a realtor, for them it's like a search functionality. And then you
Yeah,
can
and we used to have it years ago and then they
Yeah.
changed it and it screwed it up and I hated it and I've got it back again. And I every time I go in though, I have to keep logging back in. Do y'all have to do the same thing? It's so
Yeah.
annoying. Why
Yeah.
is that? I hate that.
I think that consumer app is like the least functional out of all the things they've put out so far. I tend to not, so I don't really like to, and maybe you guys have had different success with this or not. I like if one of my buyers likes searching on Zillow, like for whatever like they like to do over coffee in the morning, whatever they use to search, I'm okay with. Like, I'm heavy on the MLS portal, just because in this market, like it just takes away that constant concern of like making sure you see like watching the market every moment, right? Like you'd set it up where any listing that fits into the criteria gets automatically sent to them. Like it does, you can do it where it doesn't even send in the morning. It'll just do it automatically when it sends. But that consumer app, like same thing, Sandy, like I have to log in all the time. It's kind of funky the way you have to
You
like
know what?
share it,
I like the old one better. I
Yeah,
have
my-
the old one and I would share
Yeah.
that. All of my customers had my app and
Mhm.
I'm like, it takes me forever to log in and I don't even like this one now, honestly.
My
Do you?
favorite, no, this is my favorite one I used. I don't know. Do any of you use Home Snap?
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. So
Got Home Snap.
Home Snap I love. One of the reasons mainly is are you all familiar with Home Snap? Yeah. What I love about it is like it's connected directly to our Yes MLS. And I noticed that like it just looks pretty and nice um when someone's inquiring about a property, or if I see something, I'll always search the property on HomeSnap and then I'll text it to them, because it's just the way it shows up and the way you can look through it is really nice. For me, like having that user experience is important, like part of like,
Do you
What?
pay for Home Snap?
no, I did 2 years ago. I paid for HomeSnap Pro. I don't anymore.
Yeah, I was doing that as well. Did you get any leads from that? No.
No,
Yeah.
like, and remember initially they'd be like, hey, we'll build out this ad for you on Google and all
Yeah.
this and that. And like,
Yeah.
I never got like an actual lead from it.
It just,
And
it just gave you exposure, but I never got anything,
I don't know if you all notice or you know this as well, but if you use HomeSnap, you can find and did you ever see that where you can search an area and see like who's likely or most likely to list? Have you seen that?
No, no.
Let me see if I can find it. I know this is kind of going off topic, but I feel it's all like
All
it's
right.
all tech. So
Sure.
let me share this. All right, you can all see that, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let me see if I can remember where it is. It's on regular Home Snap. All right, let's see. My area will be. All right, so this is the city I live in, and more filters.
Is that where you live, Paul? Willoughby?
Yeah.
Do you have a team? You're on CJ's team, right?
I was for 4 years, and then I went solo agent beginning of this year.
Oh, you are solo. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
More filters. Let's see. More filters. Property type. All listings. No. I'm gonna find it. I know it.
I know. Don't you go back and then you're like, where did I
I
see this?
know,
word?
it's like-
It's so, I'm so tech
It's so
on
funny. Oh, here.
overload. It's,
Oh, is it on Pro?
oh, there you go. Oh,
I wonder.
cool.
I don't know if it's on Pro or not. It may be HomeSnap Pro. Let's see.
I bet you it is.
You think so?
What you pay for.
Right.
It's
Likely
not, it's not,
heat maps. It's under heat maps. Yeah, that's
Oh.
funny.
it says zoom out to view. Maybe you need to zoom out.
Let's see.
Yeah, keep going. There you go. Zoom out. What are all those blue dots?
Yep,
Blue
I think.
dots.
The blue dots. That's what we're looking for.
There we go.
Oh yeah. Yep. Here we go. So
Okay.
yeah. So you don't have to have Pro.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So you can kind of hone in on
Yeah.
these and like talk about a nice, good way of utilizing tech to then leverage your business. Like you could use this technology to then do something super kind of non-tech and like send a greeting card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Likely to list. I love that. It's like,
Yeah, me too.
How did you
This is
get,
on the-
how'd
this
you
is
get
on the
there again
Pro
to
one?
likely to list?
pardon?
How'd you get to likely to list again?
Okay, so so this is from desktop. So we'll do it from the start. So we go to HomeSnap. And then you go to search an area. Let's do, what's an area? What's a city? Sandy, where do you live? What's the?
Chagrin Falls. Yeah,
Ooh,
Chagrin Falls. Let's see that. Chagrin Falls. Yeah.
Chagrin Falls. There we go. And then it is
Where did you go?
all homes. Boom. So then you go to all homes.
All homes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And then you click likely to list.
Okay.
And then you zoom in here.
Oh, click on one. Let me write down the address.
Right.
Who's that? Holy shit. Okay. I gotta get on here. Oh, my house is on there.
Yeah. So see, so when you go down pretty nitty gritty here.
And so you wonder what data they use and what are they? Is it because they've been in their house for a long time? You're curious what data
Yeah,
they
they-
use. And
I know.
yeah.
I tried figuring that out the one time. I think they use like I don't know if they're able to like use search cookies, you know, how like all that stuff, and also probably equity of the house, probably how long. But it's funny because the one that was like most likely to list on my street in Willoughby,
Yeah.
that house ended up selling at the end of the year because it was
Interesting.
it was someone. I thought that they had lived there, or I thought they owned that house, but the couple was just renting, and
Yeah.
sure enough, the landlord sold the house, and I was like, man. So obviously it's
this
not
is
like
only
it's not
available
guaranteed.
on Pro.
No, this is
No, you can get to it. Yeah.
so
People just
Oh,
don't know about it.
Yeah,
Right.
I've never seen this before.
so if you go to let's do
Mhm.
one more time so everyone can like write it down. It's homesnap.com.
Mhm.
And this is on the desktop. I don't know. I think you can find it on mobile, but this is just on the desktop. And then you go to
You have to be an agent to be able to access this information. Is this connected to MLS or is it
I
not?
don't know. I mean, I'm logged in, but I think
Oh, you're logged in
Let
as
me
an
try to-
agent.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't have Pro. So
Yeah.
so then yeah, like let's see. Enter Ohio. Let's do Solon. Just hold on. And then, so that's step one, go to homesnap.com, then click the city you're thinking about, then click all homes. And then the very top one is likely to list. And then it'll show most likely, and least likely. And then you can just zoom in with
And then
this.
it just gives you the address or the
If you-
name of the.
yeah, if you
Also?
go far enough down,
Yeah.
you'll see the actual color heat map. And then let's find
Can you
one.
click
that's-
on an
Yeah.
address just so I
Let's
can
do-
see? I'm just,
Yeah, this one.
I gotta jump off here real quick.
Oh, and this is what it will show you. Oh, look, it shows the current owner. I don't know. See, like this one is in an LLC, right? So it could be like a landlord. Maybe they're interested in selling it. Let's see if there's another.
I'm trying to figure out my password. I've never logged into HomeSnap.
I know. Okay. Yeah, shoot, I got a pen.
Look at another one. Let's see.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Let's look over here.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it gives some decent information.
Mhm.
Some of these, as you can see, like you'll see this little section here that says like, oh, that's only available with the pro version, you know, stuff like that.
I'm gonna play with this.
Yeah,
some.
kind of cool, right? I mean,
Yeah, I have a question though. I had
Mhm.
gotten a call while you guys were talking about
mhm.
Sandy having the most opportunities. Do you guys set up everybody that you come in contact with that wants to buy or sell automatically on an opportunity?
Now I do.
You do.
Now I do.
Okay.
So if I meet someone new,
Mhm.
that I've had a good experience or a good conversation with or something, I will add them to my database now. I probably will put them in a different bucket than my SOI, you know, like my sphere, and then I'll have, this was a Jeff Glover thing from his listing class last year, was he's like a super mega agent out of
Yeah.
Michigan, I
I
think.
love- Yeah, I like him.
He was talking about like different buckets for different people in your database, right? Like there's some people that are going to be your SOI sphere of influence, your closest people, and then there's also going to be people that you had conversations with over the past 2-3 years
Mhm.
that should be in there, just has a different tag. You know, like you're going to communicate with them differently than, like they probably should get a neighborhood nurture. They probably should get like maybe a greeting card once or like a year or something, but a different bucket. So what I do is anyone that, any sort of real estate conversation, like whether they're a year away, or I will create an opportunity for them. That way I kind of know like they are someone that has expressed some sort of real estate need, that
Mhm.
because when if they're in opportunities that cultivate, they're not like that hot, ready to go A+ buyer or seller yet.
Right.
However, like if they're not in that cultivate section, and if I don't reference them and I don't see them in there, like they're so easily going to fall through the cracks. You know,
Yeah.
there's probably at least 10 sales over the past 3 years that I thought were shoo-ins, you know, just people that like, oh yeah, they would definitely contact me.
Mhm.
But
Won't
I
your
mean,
opportunities get really bulky?
what's that?
Won't your opportunities get really bulky? Like your sections, like
What I mean,
whether it's a
maybe.
buyer or a lister, or because like what I do is like, I mean, because I mean, obviously I don't work
Mhm.
24/7. So I try to put, like, if there's like a buyer or
Mhm.
they're going on a listing, I try to put them in as an opportunity so that when they do,
Yeah.
you know, paperwork and stuff, that it could merge with dot loop. So I try to do that, but sometimes on the weekend they get somebody new and they're doing their
Mhm.
offer, you know, so I missed that opportunity to put them in opportunities. But you know, sometimes I would think that like if I
Yeah.
put every like contact that they came in contact with in opportunities,
Oh,
it seems like it would be like a ton of cultivate.
yeah, that's kind of, so to clarify, I don't put every contact in there. I only put people, even if they're in my SOI, I will not put them into an opportunity unless, like for example, unless they've talked about some sort of real estate. The only time they'll go
Okay.
into my opportunity is if they've expressed some sort of real estate need. Otherwise, they're just gonna be in my database. Like, of course, they're gonna get a
Contact with
neighbor
smart
nurture,
plan. Yeah.
but they're not going into an opportunity unless they're actually in a cultivate stage. So like a couple of these, let's see. So this person reached out to me on Facebook a couple weeks ago. Went to high school with her. She built a house a year ago, but like wants more land. So is thinking about selling if it makes sense, right? Because it's a hot market. Homes don't depreciate as much right off the bat. So like after I kind of told her what her house may be worth, she's like, you know what? I'm still kind of thinking about it, but like I need to see this through a little bit. So like I immediately put her into a watch category as a listing potential because I had a good conversation with her. She expressed some sort of interest in real estate.
That makes sense.
And then I just will know that I need to contact her more often or find the solution for her, right?
Yeah.
She kind of expressed wanting to move, said, oh, I thought that in this market I would get a little bit higher of I sent her a comparative market analysis. So she's like, maybe I'll hold off. But it's like, maybe in a couple of weeks, it's like, I reran the numbers and you could potentially get like 450 for your house, like, does that change your mind a little bit, stuff like that. So they will not go into opportunities unless they've expressed some sort of, but it's interesting how it adds up pretty quickly. All of a sudden it was like, I was kind of starting to feel that while I was going down that doom loop, like who's going to be my next client. All of a sudden it was like, all right, let me sit back and see who out of my people that out of my database like has expressed some sort of real estate interest. And sure enough, after I did it, there ends up being 18 opportunities, and that's a significant pipeline, I think,
Yeah. Now, Sandy, you have way more than that in your opportunities, right?
I do, but you know what? I was like a mad dog when this first came out, and anybody, they're just going right in there, I mean, that's what I did because I was like, yeah, because I like to see that $400,000 potential, And
Okay.
yeah, I kept in touch and, all that. Did I lose a few? Yeah. Did they need to come out? Yeah. But, who gives a shit? And my life is chaotic and, it's okay. At the end of the day, it all shoots out and it comes out somehow, one way or the
Right.
other. And,
Right.
but I don't, I'm not precise with anything I do. Some things I do, of course, but, I will just, if they're even remotely interested in working with me, I'm going to throw them in there. It's a touch. It's just staying in touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't pick and choose.
I haven't used it that way, but the way you guys are using it makes sense. So I need to revamp my process.
Because if you look at it every day, because I have so many people in my database. I don't even know where they came from at this point in my life. I just, if they're there in front of you, I have to have it there. And I'm like, oh yeah, this person, I got it, it jogs my memory and I have to see it every day,
Yeah.
If you look at it every day, helps.
No doubt
It
about
also
it.
makes it easier from when you're doing your paperwork for commissions and stuff.
Yes.
So like
it
when you're
does.
adding your documents to command the opportunity,
They go right in.
It goes right
Mhm.
in from dot loop instead of
Yeah,
having to
no,
save
I
it to your-
definitely, I start everything in command because I don't like that whole saving and add all that. I'm
Oh,
not
so-
doing all that.
I do
crap.
want to, not saying to not, because I do think best practice is starting the loop from command, but they did add the functionality of, I'll show you here. They added that where you can, how it's difficult if you didn't start the dot loop from from command that it wouldn't sync up. Well, now it does. So you can,
Oh,
yeah, see right here, split and attach PDF. So if you're in documents and you forgot to start the transaction first before sending the dot loop to your clients, say you were at an open house and an hour later you wanted to get the offer in to be the first offer in because it's going to be multiple offers. And then you didn't have a chance to go in here, create the contact, and then start the transaction right here. Afterwards, you can click these little three dots up here. split and attach. And then it will, sorry, I have to be in under contract here. Split and attach. Manual. It'll be like so there's a pre-approval, I'll take that off. So then I'll do like, say if I needed the purchase agreement only. So that it would be what, number 14 through 19. These aren't normally, because I've already uploaded it. So
Mhm.
normally it's the ones that don't have anything attached to it. So just imagine this said like purchase agreement, whatever. And then at the bottom here, you can split the attached, and it just is nice that they added that, because before, if you forgot to do it, you have to like, what I
was a
would like,
pain.
I would like purchase Adobe for like a month for like $12, and then I would like make sure I canceled it, so then I could like split the PDFs and stuff. So it's just nice to be able to do that if you need to.
Why didn't you just go into Dotloop and split your PDFs?
You can do that too. Well, I mean, I would, again, like I would be using all different ways to try to do it as quickly as
Right.
possible. But like, it's cool now, you could just, if you forgot to do it, you could just split them right on the docs page, which is cool. So nice little functionality add.
Look, I joined just to learn, look, that and home snap
Right,
today.
right,
Those
right,
are my
yeah.
two ahas today.
Yeah, anything else before we log off here?
No, I have to
Oh.
jump off now.
Cool.
I've got to
Alright.
grab something. I sent you a message, Paul. I don't know if
Okay.
you got it. And,
Let's see. Got it. Yep. Sounds good.
Whenever you have a moment, I want to chat with you real quick about something.
Yep.
And yeah, that's it. Very good. That was great. This is great. Thank you.
Yep,
Yeah, it
I
was
agree.
good.
Alrighty, everyone. Thanks so much.
All
And then,
right.
hopefully
Thank you.
hopefully in 2 weeks we'll do this something similar. Mhm.
Okay,
All right.
great.
All right,
See you
bye-bye.
guys. Bye.
Right, how do I log off here? Mhm.